I pushed all the buttons. Something found out. I think it works. Yes, it works. We are live. Uh, my awesome. Blue Bloodfly, what's up? How you doing? Hold on. Echo. 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 Who else we got in here? KP Heathen. Yeah. How y'all doing? Oh, yeah. Hey. How y'all doing? Hey, what's up? Mosey here. I don't know if you can see me or not. I can't see myself. Okay, whatever. Yeah, stand by, folks, as I put this all together. Welcome to Lackluster Fridays, folks. Here we lack all the lusters. Yeah, all of them. Yeah, there we go. Hey, there we go. Yeah, I can see me. I can see me now, but that means I can't see you. Yeah, it sucks. Welcome to Lackluster Fridays, folks. Please hit that thumbs down button and fuck you. That's right, thumbs down, fuck you. Boom. See how it just kind of goes together? Look at that. Just boom, boom, boom. Just like that. Congratulations, you survived the week. The weekend is now yours. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome to Lackluster Fridays, folks. As I try to get this shit together, right? Put this shit together. Rain and sunny weather. All right, let's go to guests. Let's go to invite guests. Copy. Right, back out of that. Get into chat. Post that link. Link is sent. Boom! What's up, folks? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome to Lackluster Fridays. Oh, man. Congratulations. You survived the week. The weekend is now yours. Didn't I say that already? Yeah, I probably did. Let me check up on chat here. Yes. Blue Butterfly. I'm still around. I don't go down easily. I'm a fighter. I know you are. Eventually, I might need Ohio. Just saying. Yeah, I mean, Ohio's a cool place. It's a very, tell you the truth, Ohio is a very lackluster place. It's a very, seriously, it is. I mean, there's stuff to do and shit, but Ohio is like one of those places that, oh shit, quietly goes about the business of doing things. You got the static, still got the static. Mm-hmm. All right. How about now? How about now? Is that better? I don't know. I mean, let me just, still got the static. Man, it sucks. I mean, hey, welcome to Lackluster Fridays. You know, it sucks. I can't catch a break. I can't catch a break. But I'm sorry. I hope the audio continues. All right, here we go. I hope that's better. Maybe that's better. I basically, oh, I know. What's up, Mika Wolf? I know. I pushed the button. Let me put comments on the screen so everybody can see them and me. Yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome indeed. I pushed the button. I hope the audio is better. Did you really, JD Probby? Oh man, I missed it. At 6? Oh yeah, I was already at work and running the streets. Thank you, thank you. Nice. I have to go check that out then. Yeah, right on, dude. Right on. Way to go, man. Yep. JD Prepping. Drop your link, folks. Drop your links. Check out JD Prepping. I've actually met him and Advert. Is that Advert? Yeah, I've met Advert and some other people that were with JD Prepping. But yeah, let's go to you. Damn, I don't have a drink because I just drank all my drinks. Now I'm enjoying a nice fag. Yes, I'm gonna smoke a fag. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna sit here and smoke a fag. Yeah, this is my fag right here. Yeah. If you haven't heard, Hutch got a strike. Something about hate speech because he was talking about maggots. Uh, right. I can wordsmith a little bit, but in England, a cigarette is called a fag. You ought to know that. So it's not hate speech. I didn't want to step on anyone's toes, so I thought 6 o'clock on Fridays would be a good time. Oh, 6 o'clock. Okay. Yeah, I was just getting out of work. I think I was. Oh, okay. And that's I used to think like that too, J. But you know what? It's all good. It's all good, really. Um, I keep a schedule. I try to keep a schedule. Usually it's 7 p.m. That's when I start everything, and it works out. It works out that people will like dual watch live streams. Damn, hunkered down in a hotel. Be careful there, Blue. Be smart. Be smart. Let's drink. Oh my God, drinking in hotels. That's not good. I remember those days. Oh God, I remember those days. So many stories of drinking in hotels, man. Some good, some bad. But it all works out really. And I mean, I just had 2 beers with the pizza. I'm feeling pretty good as I smoke my fag. This thing right here. So yeah, if y'all haven't heard, Hutch got a strike for hate speech because he was talking about he was talking about maggots and YouTube got him. So go check out. He has other channels though. So go check out Hutch Homestead and his other channels. Links. I don't know. You can probably find him in his channel that got the strike. But hate speech. Come on. I mean, who define it? It's whose job is it to define hate speech? I'm talking about my cigarette, which is also called a fag. Oh yeah, I'm sure Blue Butterfly. I mean, he's got a lot of trolls, right? You know, they like to report people and stuff. We're gonna take you down. They get some kind of pleasure out of it. But hey, we get pleasure out of them, and you know what? It's also a badge of honor, really, to get a strike, to get put in YouTube jail. And Hutch it wasn't the first time for him. So I mean, I've been there too. There's yeah, if you don't like it, shut it off. I mean, but this is the political correctness, right? Because there is such a thing called wrong speak, right? This concept comes from the NWO, right? Brave New World. I mean, wrong think, wrong speak. Ooh, that's wrong speak. We'll be a little bitch about it. They are. I mean, that's all they got. I mean, that's all they got. You know what I'm saying? If somebody come up to me in real life and told me I can't say something, it's going to be really, really hard for me not to say it to their face. I'm just that guy. What's up, Michigan Outpost? you know, just to piss them off, just to get that reaction off of them. Um, and I don't mean, you know, I'm not serious about it. It's just, oh, that offends you. Well, maybe you need to be offended. I mean, that's how that's how I look at it. Oh, that offends you. Well, well, let me just chalk that off there on things that really piss you off. You know, Mm, uh, dude, if you serve the country, eyebrow to you. Well, thank you. If you serve the country, yeah. Piss ass, hubby, be gone. Blue bear, butterfly. Yeah, blue butterfly. I'm not gonna talk about it. That's up to you. If it's a badge to put on YouTube jail, I get the model of honor. I was throwing off YouTube, so I had to fight them to get back, or I posted 2 videos. What's up, Anthony? Boom! Deploy knife hands. Uh, and yeah, Bonesy. Ah, deploy knife hands. Yeah, that's right. Uh, but you know, I mean, at the end of the day, this is their format. Their that offends me. It doesn't really. Prepared Irishman. What's up with you, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Uh, maybe you need to be offended. I mean, you know, if I and I used to live that way. I used to be that guy that would just, what's up, Kennedy? Like, if I thought you were trying to offend me, I would just like throw down with you. You know, let's go. It's, you know, boom, shirt's coming off. We scrapping. But you know, over time, you just get to laughing at it. You're like, you develop tough skin. You know what I'm saying? You just develop you have to develop tough skin. And I don't know. That's kind of like we talked about it before, like with Generation X. We Maccabeus, what's up, brother? How you doing? Maccabeus, Mac Actual. How copy Mac Actual? Rip curl. I'm just sitting over here smoking the fag down to the butt. Yep. Trains, planes, and automobiles. Yeah. You know, it's Generation X, and before that, I mean, we would just we would just rag on each other, insult after insult after insult. And if somebody got mad enough to fight, you won. I mean, it was just like you won, and the whole crowd was like, it was a crowd of it was everybody was in on it, right? You know, everybody was in on it. It's so much fun, so much fun. I remember I had a lot of stripper friends, very gorgeous stripper friends, and we had this we had this tradition in Myrtle Beach. Yeah, Myrtle Beach. We would set. Ooh, eating boiled eggs. Really, I haven't eaten boiled eggs in a while. We would sit on the strip. Me and 2 or 3 other Marines and hot girls, hot strippers, and we would just fucking insult people as they walked by. You know, like, wow, that dude look like he got a skillet head. I mean, you know, and when a beautiful girl gets in your face and just starts ragging you, you're just like, what? You know, it was just so funny. We never got in fights. Oddly enough, we did it all the time, and we never got in a fight. Matter of fact, we had people that were just like, "What? You just like ragging on folks as they walk by." Yeah, yeah, it's fun. You want to try it? Yeah. And so we would just sit there and be like, it would never got violent. You know, I mean, you always had people like most people would just walk by. It's so funny. Well, most people would just be like, just kind of give you that side eye, just keep walking, like, I don't want no trouble. Fuck you though, right? You know, or we get somebody that walks by, just says something under the breath, like, "Fuck you, motherfucker," right? But some people would stop, right? And you're like, who the fuck you talking to? Like, you fucking skillet head motherfucker. You know, how you walk with those duck feet? I mean, just boom, 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 right? And you know, and like I said, you know, you got these hot blonde chicks, you know, and like getting in your face, just going off too, you know, throwing insults, and they're just like, oh my god, right? Oh man, come on, Carolina Country Homestead, don't give me the thumbs up. No, no, give me a thumbs down. That's right. Thumbs down. Fuck you. Lackluster Fridays. It's all about that thumbs down. It is. Really. Thumbs down. Fuck you. Someone's pissing you off. Something's pissing you off. Give them the finger. It's also a very acceptable greeting. Boom. Right. You're number one in my book. But thumbs down. This is the only live stream I think. You know, one of the crazy nights of my life started with a crazy stripper bar and ended up in the ocean when I ran on Daytona Beach. Right. So you know what I'm talking about, JD. I mean, good times, man, good times. I don't think you could do that anymore, right? They would call it hate speech. Hate speech. I mean, I don't know. What's up, Kennedy? How you doing, brother?
Dude, I haven't come and hung out with you in a while, and I'm sitting here at home, and I said I'm going to go and hang out with Shad.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hanging out with Mad Shad on a Friday night. Nothing else better to do than just insult each other. You know, you got a head like a big old turnip. you got to give me an insult too. Come on. So
I'm good. I'm all right. I'm too happy today.
well, it's a happy. It's a happy insult. You know, I mean, tell me that my beard looks like barbed wire or something. I don't know.
Maybe put some. I got salt on there right now. So
you got some salt. Oh, we got JD wanting to come up. All right, JD, come on. I'll drop the link periodically. So, how are you doing? How you doing,
how's life treating you? Are you doing okay? Work's all right?
I mean, you know, work is work, life is life. You know, you got some some falls and some. You got to bang your head a few times on the pavement to really feel alive. I fell. Oh my god! I have to tell you, I fell on the ice. I did the whole boom. Like I fell so hard on the ice that the back of my skull hit the ice. Like boom. And I think the only thing that saved me was my ponytail. But my whole back and was just so, I'm still sore. This happened like 3 days, Monday. It happened Monday. So it's taken me all week to just kind of recuperate and work through it. Like I've been going to work the whole time. You know, for 2 days I had a headache. You know, I'm sure I had some kind of like contusion or concussion or something. But yeah, I mean, life is like that, right? Life is just going to kick you, you know, hit you, kick you when you least expect it, you know, and you just got to
come to an abrupt stop.
Right? Maccabeus says, how is life in the 51st state, Kennedy?
I chuckle because, you know, I watch all this stuff going on, and as most of you folks that know me by now.
Yep.
I appreciate all my American friends. I have a ton of them. And I listen to people up here lose their mind, and I go, you know, if there's one thing I can say is that I wish we had a couple of leaders that gave a shit about our country as much as some of yours do. I think I tell them not to worry so much about what's going on in another country. Worry more about what's happening in your own. So yeah. I kind of, you know, I just watch stuff that's going on, and I keep my mouth shut. It's none of my business what goes on in another country, unless it directly affects me, or you know, or anything like that. Some of the stuff that happens. In my humble opinion, you know, I think if you poke a bear enough and they bite you, you kind of deserve it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of fafo. I mean, you know, why'd you poke the bear? Unless you're really just trying to have fun with the bear. I mean, that's me too. I'll poke a bear.
You play with snakes. If you play with snakes and you get bitten, well,
yeah,
your fingers swell up. You know.
Miko Wolf. Yeah, I've been to Hilton Head many, many times. I used to work there a lot. Yep, Myrtle Beach. Yep, absolutely. North Carolina next to Myrtle Beach. Yep. Crawled that area for like 20 years. Yep. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. Yeah,
Let's look at the comments. I didn't
that's
have
what I'm
them.
doing.
Yeah, so I don't get all the tension with the, you know, America won the gold medal at the Olympics. Bravo, congratulations, excellent. I'm
Right.
happy for them. It's all good. Some people up here lost their minds. Like hockey's like a religion. You know?
Absolutely.
I played for many years. You know, the ring you usually see me wearing is a city championship ring I got for hockey, but
Wow.
it doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't. You know, I'm 65 now. My playing days are long over, and
Yeah.
let the young guys have fun or try and kill each other.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's it's a rivalry, right? It's a rivalry amongst friends, amongst neighbors. You know.
It's a funny thing. You're military. If you've been stationed anywhere that Canadians were, that's
Yeah.
what a lot of people don't realize is how
Yeah.
tight Americans and Canadians really are.
Yeah, the American military and the Canadian military are always in conjunction with each other. The Canadian military has been in every conflict we've been in, every war we've been in, and we actually went to war once.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a time I forget the details, but I think it was over in Michigan. I think it was
1812.
1812. Really? Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, the Indians that from up north went and burned the White House.
Oops.
Yeah, no, the Canadian military and the natives made it all the way to Washington D.C. and burnt the White House.
I mean, that's pretty good bragging rights right there. So, you know, everybody sees, and I have drank with some Canadians, in the States and abroad. Like it's kind of weird. Like anywhere I went in the world, I would find a Canadian there drinking. You
Well,
know, and
think back. If you think all this talk about Iran, who got all the American uh, bureaucrats out of Iran? You remember
so
when they invaded the United States embassy in Iran? All of the American ambassador
yes,
and
yeah, right.
they hid,
So
they hid in the Canadian they hid in the Canadian embassy, and we created fake documents. They became
yeah,
Canadian to fly out. They all were rescued by Canadians. And during 9/11, when they shut down all the flights, 7,000 Americans landed in Gander, Newfoundland. And God bless those Newfies. They took in all of them into their own homes, fed them, gave them clothes, you know, and
wow.
asked for nothing in return. There's a big movie about it. So I kind of chuckle when people try to put a little divide between us. We have way too much good juju between us to
I
any of
agree.
this stuff to stick around.
I agree. And you know, we also like. I also know that you Canadians are so polite as fuck, as Sean North Shore used to say, polite as fuck, right? You know, to the point where you guys are aggressive about your politeness.
It's
uh,
funny that we're always known for saying sorry and all that stuff. But if you
yeah,
talk to military guys, I don't think they'd pick another person to be by their side. I think that a Canadian would be a good pick for them. And just like we always say, the United States has always been a great ally and friend. So, you know, it is what it is. Stupid times. Look at what we've been through as two countries for the last, 10, 12 years. All
yeah,
this stupidity, like it's
yeah,
crazy. We have the largest unprotected border in the world. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just think about it. When they start to try and drum up all this bullshit, there is no fences or gates. You know, Obama way back cut a 20-foot wide swath through the forest along the border. And that's all there is. There is nothing. There's people out west between Montana and Alberta that they're half their houses in the United States and half in freaking Canada.
They have no citizenship. JD, what's up, JD? How are you doing?
What's up, brother?
Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Just waiting for bug out weekend.
Yeah, it's like Trent says, it's still in committee. It's still being discussed. There's we'll see. We'll see. Maybe.
Well, I told him if he needed help, let me know. I'm willing to help.
Right. Yeah. We're looking at some other places perhaps, and maybe some other other venues.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I want to go Hocking Hills, but I don't know if they can accommodate.
Cool, yeah.
Hocking Hills, yeah, I've always wanted to go there, and it's such a huge place. And they've had huge like survivalist places there. I mean, it's like I forget, like 1,500 acres or something of just
Yeah,
wild.
I've been there a few times before.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got cabins. They've got primitive campsites. They've got. I don't know if they can accommodate like 100 something people though. I don't know.
Well, we only had 40 plus people there last time, and but I mean, there was a lot of different campsites down at Hocking, and then different cabins you can rent and different things like that,
I mean that's great for like a small group, right? But the whole idea of the whole for 3 years they're in the old place, we could accommodate up to 200 people or more. They were gonna mow that back field there, and there's more campsite, so everybody was in like a centralized area. And Hocking Hills.
You want it to get that big though?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, it's great, but I mean, that's the other thing too. There's a lot of people that just didn't come. They said they were, and they didn't. And, it was kind of a bummer. We understand, of course.
Yeah.
So we're working on it.
Send your money in ahead of time, and that's just the way it goes. I mean, you send it ahead of time, and you're in. And, if you don't, you don't.
Speaking of it, I've met Little Lone Prepper. I've met ex-NYC Prepper at the Bug Out. So I don't know. Yeah, we're talking about it. We're thinking about it. We're looking at other places, and the logistics involved, the money involved, the legalities involved. There's a lot going on there. So and there's also the uncertainty of what's going to happen. So that was the other thing too. Is a lot of people had concerns about being at Bug Out Weekend, and something goes down, and they're hundreds, thousands of miles away. I mean, whatever.
Well, hey, you know what? You're with the best group of people you could be with, right?
That's true. Right. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, with a finite amount of resources, though. I mean, that was the thing. Yeah. Daniel Barry, Sports and Highlights. How you doing?
But you know what, dude, man, I've ever since 2K, I've been putting shit away, and
Paul, what's up?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. It's like I just am just kind of idling anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like when I started to around the turn of the millennium.
I wanted to ask you something, Chad, because I saw a little notification. The Canadian government has requested any Canadians to leave Iran about 12, 13 hours ago. That if there
Really?
was any Canadians in Iran, that they should leave. So I'm just
Well,
wondering if there's something going on.
Right. It was in the U.S. and China, all to leave there.
I mean, Iran they're having a lot of force conduct anyway. You know,
Not that we really care, because it's out in the middle of the desert or whatever. It's when they bring their stuff here that we have the issue with.
Right.
yeah, right.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they could make that a big glass bowl over there. You know what I mean?
Hunter,
I'm all for no fly zones around all that shit. You know, you stay there, you don't come out. You stay there and do your own shit.
I have hopes. I mean, and that's the other thing too. Is
Oh, we lost you.
We lost them. As soon as we start talking about serious stuff, it seems he gets ozoned.
Yeah, really, right.
That happened, I think. I can't remember who.
oops, I pushed the button. I pushed the wrong button. Sorry.
Oh, you're back, brother.
So there's the hopes that the peaceful unrest will take care of itself, and there'll be an actual revolution in Iran.
Yeah.
Well, while we're talking about some of this stuff, if you see when politicians finally do the will of the people, and your crime rate goes down, and a lot of things go down, and all of a sudden, the problems are melting away. Nobody wants to say, "Oh, you were right." You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nobody wants to say, "Hey, you were right."
Oh, when was the last time you had seen somebody going up and saying, "Hey, you're doing a good job," right? I mean, everybody all anybody wants to do is go and complain about something, right? It's like your server. If you go to a restaurant, you got to tell them when they're doing a good job. Thank you. You're doing a good job. And not only complaints.
Yeah.
We lost them again.
It's hard to watch what's going on. And as an old guy, I watched it, and I feel bad for our kids and our grandkids, because they're the ones going to have to pay for all this stuff, really and truly. Like, at my age, you know what? I'm not the one with the mortgage and all the debt and stuff like that. We're just overtaxed. That's our biggest complaint right now. And everybody's kind of stupid. But you kind of hope that someone comes along with common sense. Me personally, my opinion of the last 10 years, I think all of the politicians should be fired with what they allowed COVID to happen and all this other bullshit. Every single one of them start fresh. 2-term limits, the whole 9 yards, from municipal all the way to federal. And Warren Buffett's idea: if the GDP goes above 3%, you're fired. Adios.
It sounds good. It sounds good.
Yeah, I agree with this.
If your national debt goes above 3%, you're fired. Adios. Bye.
Well, what's our GDP?
Yeah, I believe in term limits. Definitely. I mean, like Pelosi.
Got smart.
I mean, some of them people they've just been in there too long. They're getting comfortable making money. And how is it they go in there making, $80,000, $90,000 a year, and then come out a millionaire a year later, huh?
Yeah, funny how that works.
Well, I like my disappointment in our whole and not doesn't you got to include the bureaucrats in the background that are really pushing all the buttons. Some of these people have way too much power. They're not elected, and they're the ones in the background that are there all the time.
Yep, the unelected officials, the deep state, if you will, as part of the deep state. Just some guy that's been there for 70 years, uh, in some kind of department of events, department of culture, and he's got all the power.
The latest thing here is they're pushing. I heard it today, and I just about fell over. You're gonna get a good chuckle. They're thinking of testing children like at an early age for cholesterol. Okay,
For what?
for cholesterol.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
So, what's up, Maccabeus? How you doing?
Check this last week.
Hey,
All right, how you, brother?
Hey, I'm
How's
at a
everybody?
total of
Hey,
88,
Canagan.
right?
We got Kennedy,
pretty
we got JD prepping, JD prepping, and Maccabeus. Good to hear, man. Good to hear.
Hey there, Mac.
Mac, I saw it today. He said it was 73 degrees there. I was joking in one of the other rooms. I said it may be 73 here in about May.
It's supposed to drop back down in the 40s all week, though.
What's up, Trent?
Yeah, here too.
Between
got
between
snow
between the
coming in.
end of December, and the middle of April, most of us barely see our nuts.
Ah,
Is that from too many
hey,
clothes or
I'm gonna
what?
drop out, you guys.
No, it's so cold that they're all
I'm
turtled.
gonna drop out.
I got it.
I'll see you guys.
I got you. I pushed the wrong down button. What's up, Trent?
Yeah, I even had
Gentlemen.
mosquitoes out today.
Trent, good to see you, man.
Good to see y'all. How's everybody doing?
What's up, Vision?
Top shelf, right up there with the peanut butter.
I'm glad somebody's up there next to the peanut butter because I'm down here with the jelly.
Uh-oh. As long as you aren't in the dog food drawer, you're okay.
Oh, yeah, plenty of that.
Isn't it?
Happy
isn't it
Lackluster Friday.
yes. Isn't it great being
Right.
an older guy and we've paid taxes all our lives to get the kind of representation we have and the respect that we get? Isn't it just wonderful, Trent?
I kind of feel like Rodney Dangerfield.
Hey, jeez.
Against no respect for you.
None.
What's that?
Yeah, of
What's
course.
that, Rodney? What's that, Rodney Dangerfield one-liner? He says, geez, my wife wanted to have sex in the car, but she wanted me to drive.
Right. Exactly.
I liked him in Natural Born Killers, that meat man cocksucker.
Remember in the one where he's the
Right.
golf guy, or he's the rich dude, and he walks into the university library and he goes, "Hey, Shakespeare for everybody, on me."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great movie. Yep.
Yeah. It's a good day. Good day.
Well, you have to have a sense of humor, because
Oh, it's a must.
if we didn't, man, we'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
I would agree.
yeah. That's how I get through a lot of this. Is I just laugh. I
Yep.
do.
We got to. Plain and simple.
All right,
And,
JD. I just laugh.
JD.
Was your ears ringing? We've been talking about you.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
what were you talking about?
We were talking about you and Bug Out Weekend, brother.
Like I said, it's on the table, and that's exactly where it's laying. It's on the table.
What's up, show and tell?
That's all I got, bruh.
It's on the table, and that's exactly where it's.
We're
All right, somebody's got an echo going on. We've got another device on. I can hear the reverb.
Is it me? I don't know. Is it me?
It can't be
I got
me.
it.
All I got is my phone.
I got one device on.
I
Bug out
appreciate
weekend. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's on the
Well, if you
table.
email me, we can.
That's all I
work
got,
something
JD.
out. I'll help you as much as I can.
I thank you for that. You and the council and the committee and everybody has said that, and I'm like, okay, but that is not going to sway the decision. There's
have a
other deciding factors.
I have
What's
a
up?
question for Canagen whenever we got time.
What's that? Sorry.
And I'm not trying to take a jab or anything because it's kind of about the whole neighborhood because we're on the same block. I heard on the news here, maybe a month ago, that China was working with the Canadian government and going to start putting bases in. Is that true, or what's going on with that?
No.
Not true at all.
No.
Hold on a second. I did an alert from StreamYard about JD's feed. Please ask the user to refresh the plays. It says no data detected while recording locally for at least one of JD's feeds. Please ask the user to refresh the page. If the problem persists, contact support at the
There we go. How's that now? Everything okay?
Yeah. It's something about JD prepping was
Lay down.
was doing something. I don't know what was going on. But I thought it was interesting that StreamYard brought it to our attention.
Was he trying to share the show on his channel?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But Mac, to answer your question, that it wouldn't fly here. It would never go out in Vancouver, out in British Columbia on the west coast. At one point, several years ago, I heard that there was a couple of so-called Chinese Communist Party police forces or whatever, and they were some of these Chinese people were affecting voters because they were going to get these old Chinese people and putting them on a bus and forcing them to vote who they wanted to vote for, and that got kiboshed. So yeah, it's the sneakiness abounds, but it would never fly. And they're trying to push this gun buyback thing that's going on up here, and several
Gun
provinces
buyback.
have basically given this to the federal.
Yeah.
That means buy more.
So there's a lot of stupid
Go
shit.
offer a little more. Go offer a little more than the government offers.
Well,
I think the problem we have the same problem. I think that you have, and a lot of the so-called Western countries have, is that the globalists are trying to ruin everything on purpose to control everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a Rhodes Scholar to see it.
Wait, Spike. What's up?
that's why I'm going full blown Neo / John Wick.
You said Neo. Neo's John Wick. Yes, sir.
Yep.
I think there's always something new they're trying to sneak through in the media's bot, and we all think the same way. We all know it. We see it.
Yeah.
We just have to cautiously hope that not everybody's stupid.
Yeah, I find it better to ask people that actually live there than depend on sources off the internet.
Yep.
Well, Mac, you can be confident that in the fact, and any of my American friends, that there's just far too many of us that we've got along so well. But what they're allowing into the country, and I'm not a racist. I think you folks know me well enough. But the quality of the people they're allowing to infiltrate our country and pay for them and put them in 4-star hotels and give them food and all this other stuff. And then I'll give you an example. Last summer, the Indian, well, they lost 79,000 Indian students that, never showed up for class, that were here on school visas. 79,000. They don't know
Wow.
where they are. They don't know where they are. But on the beach in St. Thomas, these Indian from India, whatever, and they were putting tents and shitting on the beach and burying the shit in the sand. Like, come on, really? Could you get much more heathen?
I'm not fond of the Indians. Part of my medical crew that's taking care of my cancer is from India, and my oncologist from India. He's been to India 3 times since June, and my consultations with him are only like 3 to 5 minutes. Can't get no information out of him. I just had a sugar spike. I hadn't shared this on the internet. I told Mad Chat about it, but I had a sugar spike last Wednesday at my infusion, 585, and I've never been diabetic or anything. And they freaked out, and I came home, brought the dog home, went back down to the ER so they could check me out. And there was an India doctor in the ER, and he gave me 2 different pills to start taking. And I was about dead by Sunday night. When I drove myself, I put dog in the building and gave him several days worth of dog food and water and just took off and drove myself to the ER. And it was all I could do to focus to stay on the road.
Wow.
I could barely walk or anything. I was puking up anything I tried to drink. And I walked in there and puking in the lobby. They gave me a bag to puke in, and I was. They said I was at death's door, so they put me in ICU at another hospital and done a bunch of tests on me. And that doctor had gave me the wrong medication. He gave me for medication for low blood sugar instead of high blood sugar, and
Oh, no.
and
Oh,
my, the
Sounds like
doctor
malpractice suit to me, my friend.
Yes, sir.
and the doctor that overseen my case, she said that they should have seen something in my blood work. There were slight increases in my sugar over the last 2 months. And remember, Matt had me telling you that I'd been real tired here lately. That's why. And nobody at the infusion center was catching it. I'm depending on these people to keep me the fuck alive, and they're basically killing me. If I'd have laid down and went ahead and went to sleep, I was hurting so bad my hips felt like this being spread apart, my legs and everything. And I ain't a pussy. I can take a lot of fucking pain. And I barely slept the night before, but I couldn't even get comfortable enough to doze off. And if I'd have got to sleep that night, I'm pretty sure I'd have died Sunday night.
Damn, man. Oh my God.
I'm back from the dead again.
Wow. That's amazing. Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy? I don't
Yeah,
trust
it is.
these fuckers. When I was in the hospital last year doing surgeries, 3/4 of the staff at them hospitals was all from other countries, man. Very few of them were Americans anymore. I'm talking dietary and everybody. Dietary, janitors, everybody's from another country now.
Wow.
Beth. Oh my
We
God.
can't get doctors here. There's the MRI line up here. My wife's going for one on Tuesday. As you probably know, Mac, my wife had brain surgery, had a tumor removed.
Yeah.
So she was calling. They were supposed to do an MRI in March because she had the surgery in October. It was pushing on her optic nerves and her pituitary gland.
Yeah.
They took it out through her nose. They go
Oh my
through your
God.
nose up into the base of your skull, inside your sinuses, and they bust a hole through, and it was a golf ball sized tumor.
Oh,
They took
Lord.
it out,
Lord.
and they took samples from her thigh, deep thigh, because they cut the whole inside of your nose in here to patch the skull up top, and then they take the samples out of your leg to fix the inside of your nose. And then she was supposed to have an MRI in March, but we hadn't heard anything. Okay, from October the 30th, and she called and she goes, "Well, the waiting time right now is 2 years." So
Lord.
anyway, we said that's not good enough. Talk to the surgeon anyway. So she's going to go for the MRI on Tuesday. But right now in Canada, in this area, the wait for an MRI is between 1 to 2 years. And you can't get a family doctor. They're just not available. And I can tell you one of the reasons why is because Canada and the US has the same medical tests. Of course they would, right? We're beside each other. And
Yeah.
we're so-called civilized country. So what happens to most of the doctors from here? United States steals them all. You need them, right? So, so we're kind of screwed, blued, and tattooed because our family doctor from 30 years ago, his wife got a job more than in the States, paying them more than both of them. So most of the good doctors have gone to the United States, and maybe you don't have enough yet because with the influx of immigration, like let's face it, our country is a beautiful country. It's massive,
Yeah.
it's huge, but within 100 kilometers of the border of the United States and Canada, that's where the population is. 95% of our population is within 75 to 100 miles of the United States border. The rest is vast emptiness. And it's cold here than a witch's tit in a brass bra. And anybody that comes here that's hardy enough hangs in. But the rest of them, they just head to the States, right? They'll head south.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I mean the medical system, the medical apparatus, if you will. I mean, we can talk about the pharmaceuticals and all that. Their ties there. You know, they don't want to cure anything. They just want to
No.
treat it.
I was just going to say that. Mac, I got a question for you. Next
Yes, sir.
time you talk to your doctor, ask them to run a test to see what your alkaline level is in your body.
Okay.
You want to raise that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for YouTube purposes, I am not a medical professional, but I will tell you this, Mac. The more the body is alkalined, cancer
Uh-huh.
cannot survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
Period.
heard this. That's
I, I know that for a fact.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going
Yep.
to see my primary care this next week, and I am
Good.
going to see an attorney about there's some other things that went on down there at the ICU. I had this
Yeah.
big old bohemian bitch come in there. My alarm was going off on my infusion machine because it was empty, and like 5 minutes, and they're really loud, you know. And I
Yeah.
can still walk and shit, and they told me all I have to do is unplug the machine if I wanted to go to the bathroom or anything. So I unplugged it and I walk out in the hall, and this bitch Shanny, my nurse, comes running over and like almost shoving me back in my room. And there's 3 people at that nurse's station right across the hall from my room. And that was all I had to do is poke a button and shut the alarm off. I know how to do it. I didn't do it because I'm not authorized. I try to,
Right.
abide by the standards. And she come in there and she started unhooking my port and she didn't have the syringe or nothing to back plush me, dropped the green cap on the floor, reached down, she had gloves on, reached down and picked that freaking cap up off the floor and put it on my port. And I said, what the fuck are you doing? You didn't even flush the damn thing. Well, I got to go get a syringe. I didn't have it with me. She shouldn't even been unhooking me. And
Right.
it started off bad when she first came in because I told her to shut my door and she wouldn't shut my door. And I told her, bitch, this is my fucking house. This is an extension of my house. This is America, and I know what my patients' rights are and what my citizens' rights are. And yeah, I filed a complaint down there. I've got other things I'm going to talk to the attorney about.
Yeah.
I'm done with
But
these
have them check
motherfuckers.
your alkaline levels. And if they tell you, if they just say, well, they're fine, say, no, I want to know what they are.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes, please.
And here,
Thank
give
you.
you guys an idea of our system. None of that stuff is done a lot in hospitals anymore. Stuff. There's private laboratories. Right? We have one here. It's called Dynacare. I think they charge us $9.99 for the year. But when we go in and do a blood test, you have to ask your doctor to get you a blood test, and they'll run all your blood work, ALTs, alkaline, everything. And I can actually log in and look at them and
Yeah.
your urine tests. And when I
Yeah.
go and look at it, for a 65-year-old dude, I'm all green except for triglycerides, which is affected by one of the medications for that I'm on, and it affects your triglycerides. But it's very, very fine. But we can actually see our blood work ourselves,
Yeah.
and look, as long as there's nothing red. And if there's something red, you ask if you have a family doctor. That's the other issue we have is you can't get one. Poor people are
we have-
waiting in lines of clinics and everything.
We have portals and where we can log into and see all the test results and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't generally log on there. A lot of the terminology isn't like the words we know. They're different words, and I just don't. I'm lazy, I guess. I don't take time to go look and research it, and I'd forget by tomorrow anyway what the fuck it meant. So
I would
You know?
check it, Matt. I think Trent's correct. If I were you, if you can log in just for shits and giggles, log in. If you're not sure, Google it. They'll tell you what's ALT in a blood test, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And you'll know everything you want to know.
Oh, Bam Spike is he's got some cool little things here. You know, early in the morning before you drink anything, whatever, and I've heard this too, is spit in a distilled water. You know, get you a cup of distilled water, spit in it, and see what happens to your spit. The acidic spit decomposes quickly in the water, while alkaline spit tends to remain like a glob of spit. Acidic represents it's like a Portuguese man of war, yada yada yada. I mean, medical or I'm sorry, food grade hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah. Yeah, that was going you went down a road, but let me answer this real quick. Steel and Tree, do not drink alkaline water because there's not enough in it to do anything. You need to, as the professor just said, again, I am not a medical professional.
Yep.
Food grade hydrogen peroxide, you can buy it on Amazon.
Another thing is lemon water with lemon. It's something. It's even though lemon is very acidic, it forces your body to change it to alkaline because it
Alkaline, that's absolutely right.
Yeah,
I'm
and
going
it's
to.
mad high. It's super high in vitamin C and all that. Of course,
I think apple cider has that too.
I think
I'm going to
it's
order some. I'll order some
food
tomorrow.
grade. Yeah, food grade hydrogen peroxide. I think is, I want to say 6%. I think it's 6%. But if it's food grade, it'll tell you what the percentage is. You want to drink 3 to 4 glasses of that a day.
Okay. Not
That
diluted
is,
with anything, just straight.
huh?
Not diluted with anything, just drink it straight.
No, you can put it in water.
Okay.
It comes with the dropper or whatever. I'm trying to think what 1, 2, 3. I'll have to look, but yeah, you add it to water and drink it. Yep. It definitely yeah. It'll alkaline, it'll balance your body out and raise the alkaline level. I mean, it's a known fact that cancer cannot survive in an alkaline environment. Period.
Yeah, and I've been
It kills it and dissolves it.
And if you have too much sugar, it thrives. And I've been laying off sugars
Absolutely.
this whole time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been laying off
But-
the sugars.
Yep. But yeah, alkaline water, there's not enough in it.
and that's the other thing too is lay off the sugars, processed sugars especially. Any
Yep.
kind of processed foods, any kind. I mean,
All
if it doesn't
processed
look like
foods.
if it doesn't look like food, if it doesn't look like a tomato, if it doesn't look like a fucking piece of meat, don't eat it. You know, seriously. I mean, that's the biggest issue that we have, man. Is that's what causes our cancers. A lot of them.
Yep. Processed
About it.
foods.
100 years ago, 200 years ago, there's no such thing as cancer.
Right.
Everybody knew.
There was no modified palm oil either 200 years ago.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't get me started on oils. The 10 bad foods, right? I get off the oils, wheats, and glutens, and all that. And gluten is anything that's wheat, barley, rye, and oats, right? Wheat, barley, rye, and oats will kill you. It causes inflammation. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm just saying. I know I'm preaching, but for me, wheat, barley, rye, and oats, and I learned this from Dr. Joe Wallach, criticalhealth.com. Yep, shout out to him. But it changed my life. Absolutely changed my life. I was in my 30s, man, and I was like just going downhill quick. Didn't know why, And I heard him on George Norrie, Art Bell, right, Coast to Coast AM, and I tried it. I just tried staying off the oils, all the oils, all the olive oil, all the canola oils, anything that had oil. Which funny thing is, all the things in our food has oils in it, especially the high fructose corn syrup. Right, that's the worst shit in the world, man.
Yep.
Sodas, I was addicted to Mountain Dews, and I don't drink sodas anymore. No more sodas. I lost all my belly fat. I lost. I got my energy back. My joints were going bad. I figured, okay, and you know what? I listened to the doctor. Oh, you need to eat some more oatmeal. So I did. I would have oatmeal every fucking morning. That's a gluten. It's a gluten. It's funny when you look at nature, right? Gluten, wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Anything that eats them goes to sleep, and then the predators get them. It's a defense mechanism.
GMO stuff. Like if you look at Italy, genetically modified is banned. It's not allowed. That's why
every other country on the planet except the United States will not have GMOs. Period. They've banned it.
That's right. That's right.
In Italy, ancient grain flour.
I'm wearing the shirt. Check this shirt out. Y'all know what this shirt is?
I can't see
the red part.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see the what the fuck part.
When's the fireball? Okay, I'll turn it around here real quick.
Nice.
So fireball. I used to get all kinds of swag from bars and clubs and shit. When I'd work down there.
Nice.
And guess what Fireball has in it?
What?
Glycanol. Ethylglycanol.
Wow.
It's the main ingredient in a lot of textiles, a lot of roofing material, a lot of petroleum things. It's absolutely poison. That is the main ingredient in Fireball. Ethylglycol. It's banned overseas. It's banned in Europe. It's just banned. They don't have it. They're like, no, we don't do that shit. I'll drink Jägermeister.
Goldschlager.
Right.
Goldschlager.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's like one of the primary drinks of rednecks, I think.
Yeah,
Yep.
I used to drink tons of it, man. But then I worked here in a rubber roofing here in Cleveland, and we used to get 55-gallon drums of that stuff to mix it into our.
Gross. That Jägermeister. I can't drink those. What do you call those Red Bulls and stuff?
Jaeger bombs. Yeah,
Those things are disgusting. I don't know how people drink them.
yeah, that's pretty disgusting. But it gets you drunk and gets you like jacked up with energy as well. Yeah, I remember those days. And that's the thing too is like Fireball. I used to be a bartender, and Fireball, Jägermeister. That was like free flowed after work because you're doing your paperwork, you're counting up all your tips and doing it. What you owe the bar, what you get, and everybody just shots at this stuff. Out of the machine. That stuff is just absolutely poison, and we allow it, and we're okay with it.
Yep.
Right, glyphosate. Yeah, y'all want to talk about glyphosate? Go ahead. Oh wait.
Yeah, but
I got to remember that food grade peroxide.
food grade hydrogen peroxide, absolutely.
I will share something with you there, Mac. Yeah, that was shared to me by a brother that I love dearly. He knows who he is.
Yeah.
Right. So, I'll share it with you if I can find it. I don't know. You might have to share it again.
You can get it on Amazon.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. Yeah, there's a book involved with directions.
Yeah, there's a book that comes with it. Read the book.
I wonder if that'll help my pancreas start producing insulin again. Because
Yes, it will. It will.
That doctor, she went back through my medical records for the last 20 years, and she said there's no reason I should be having these problems even with the infusion. She thinks it came from the drug they're giving me from the infusion, and
That's right.
that's what she told the oncologist. But she told me that if I can get something straightened out, that I can probably beat it and not be on insulin.
Yep.
Hey, folks, yeah, y'all don't mind if I smoke a fag, do you?
No, I got a fag burning myself.
You got a fag too?
I was going to say, where you shooting them at?
No, I'm just smoking a fag.
Oh, okay. You go right ahead, Skull.
Yeah. That's if you haven't heard about Hutch Homestead. I'm just playing with words here. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke me a fag right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
why I
yeah,
reiterated
it's I'm trying to think. The book is called The 1 Minute Cure. I'll return. Well, I'm not going anywhere, but I'm gonna look something up here.
Right on, bro. Right on. Do it.
Can you email that to me, Vision?
Yeah, see if I can find it too. What's good there, Eska? And what is it, Eska?
Yeah. Sparkling lemon mineral water.
Oh God. You know, I when I went overseas, especially like Italy, their drink over there was effervescence, which is just some
How's that
dry ass fucking sparkling mineral water, dry as hell. They like it super dry. And I was like, what the hell is this crap? This is like, seltzer water, straight seltzer water. But you know what? I got addicted to it.
Hey, Shad, look at this fancy name, and then I'll show you what it is. Okay. Mélange de noix. It's just plain old salted mixed nuts.
See, I'm out here smoking a fag, and you've got a bag of nuts over there.
Got a bag of nuts. Anybody want a nut?
You put nuts in your mouth. I'm smoking a fag.
Right now, anybody, the algorithm's getting all screwed up with all this.
Oh yeah, I don't know what to do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fuck them. Bunch of maggots. Oh, what?
Yeah, I actually got to be outside today, so I got on a few live streams today because I got signal. I can't really get shit inside of that camper.
Really?
How's that elevator you made working? Good?
Yeah, I don't hardly ever use it now because I use the stairs just to good exercise, but yeah, it
Cool.
still works good.
I had an opportunity to use it. It's badass.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Okay.
Yeah, we put it through the test. We had both me and Mad Chat on it.
Very cool.
All right, you're back, Trent. Okay.
Yep.
And we should send it in. Hold on.
Yeah. I sent it to you. The book is called The 1 Minute Cure.
Okay.
I'll buy it.
Yeah. When I get off here, Mac, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Thank
you. I appreciate that, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
So a little short story. The cardiologist, like I've never had a heart attack or anything like that. But to prevent the possibilities, they asked me to quit smoking 3 years ago. I quit.
Yeah.
And the doctor said he was trying to figure out what the heck was going on. My blood pressure was high. I said, well, as long as we have stupid people running our country, my blood pressure is always going to be high. And we joked about that. And he said, as he looked through stuff, he had put me on statins.
No.
And talking about the blood test thing, he was looking at it, and this cardiologist said to me, he goes, Jerry, your levels are just a little too high at your liver. These statins are nuking your liver, and we don't want to do that.
That's right.
So we're going to try something else here. He says there's a new shot, but it's $1,400 a month. Good thing I have insurance, right?
Good Lord.
He says it's called Repatha, but he did a blood test on me, and genetically my ancestors passed me on that gene that our bodies, 25% of the population apparently has it. We just overproduce cholesterol. There's nothing you can do. He says no matter how many salads you eat or how many marathons you run, you cannot do a thing about it. So we're going to do a little test on you. We're getting rid of the statins because they're nuking your liver. They put me on this Repatha. It's a shot every 2 weeks. And ezetimibe, which is not a statin. And my cholesterol levels went right below in the green levels, 1.3, all that good stuff. And then one day I got a call. Dr. O'Brien is no longer available. And he dropped dead this month from cancer.
Wow.
That happened. So I don't know. I'm going to get on my soapbox about cholesterol.
Thank you.
Yeah, you need to have some. Our bodies need it.
Yeah, I scare the hell out of the testers when they test me because I keep a high level of cholesterol, high level, absolutely high. I mean, they get alarmed. They're like, "Oh my God, you need to do this, you do that, we put you on this, put you on that." I was like, "What's my cholesterol levels?" So I was like, "No, that's actually low. I need to be higher." Yeah, your body. I've been like operating at a higher level all my life because of high cholesterol. There's only one type of cholesterol. One type. It's called cholesterol, right? There's no good cholesterol. There's no bad cholesterol. It's all cholesterol, and your brain is made out of it. You're connecting tissues. You're connecting to muscles, to your tissues, your nerve endings, your organs. Everything is made out of cholesterol. Your veins are made out of cholesterol. So when they start throwing statins on you and blood thinners and things of that nature, it literally saps your body, drains your body. It makes your veins paper fucking thin. Let me rephrase all this. It makes my veins paper fucking thin, and I've seen other people that it made their veins so paper fucking thin that when they went in to do a what do you call it, a stint, they eviscerated all their veins because they were super fucking thin because they were on the statins, right? And they said no more eggs, no more butter, no more this, over that. No, think about it. Our ancestors thrived and survived and learned how to live off of cholesterol, high levels of cholesterol. That's what kept them. That's what made them survive. You know,
Most people,
you can't.
75%.
Cholesterol is also it's a fuel for your body to keep you warm. I mean, that's why comfort foods and things of that nature, you know, are so good in the wintertime because it's high in cholesterol. Just saying.
And 150 years ago, they not only worked harder, but like in warfare, look at the Civil War. A lot of them battles went on for hours, hand-to-hand combat. You know, that takes. It's because they had better shit in them.
Keep in mind, though, the high cholesterol is a North American thing. It's very, very almost invisible in Europe. They have a different diet. We eat too much shit.
No, we eat too much good stuff. I mean, your average European cannot fight and survive against an average American. Just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, you know, seriously, you know, there's a reason why we're all like 6 foot plus and 200 pounds. And
well, you can look at Russia. Look at Russia.
Oh,
they don't have a high rate of cholesterol or any of that. It's different. It's different type of thing.
They need cholesterol. They eat a lot of cholesterol, you know. But I mean, you know, they also drink a lot of vodka, I guess. So whatever. But I mean, it's that whole cholesterol, dairy products, animal fats, right? What you talking about? Right? We thrived on that stuff. It helps us grow strong. Right, milk helps us grow strong. Chocolate milk for the win, right? One of the best.
Yes, indeed.
My recovery, my recovery, and we were talking about this last night at Trent's live, and I forgot to touch on this. Is that like my recovery? It's longer when you get older, right? It's harder. So I do we call it, Gatorades and Gatorade electrolytes. I do electrolytes, I do creatines, I do proteins, and then if it's really, really, really bad, I pull out the chocolate milk. Right? I'm drinking chocolate milk. I'm eating eggs. I'm eating butter. It slows. It weighs you down. That's right. Right. It weighs you down. You're like, oh God, it's sitting heavy on me. But it's good for you. It rebuilds everything. It does. It rebuilds everything. For me.
Yep.
I say.
Same here.
And most people. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's something that the medical industrial complex is not good at, and that's preventive medicine. They suck at that. All right. The only thing I want a doctor to do is is to fix my broken bones, to do some open heart surgery, open brain surgery on me, whatever. They can't fix shit. They can't prevent shit. Right? Nor do they really want to. I mean, we all know that it's better living than chemical engineering. That is their actual saying. That is their mantra. That is their ethos. Their modus operandi. And they spend hours upon hundreds of plus hours going to these fucking conventions of Bayer, of all these pharmaceutical places to learn about how their drugs, which they did a study themselves, not a second, not a blind study review or anything. No, how they themselves did their own studies and figured out how this works and this works and this works. Right. So, I mean, it's bullshit. It's straight up bullshit. And that's how you got COVID. Okay. That's how you got the MDRA. All right. That's how we got fucking Hashimoto's disease. That's how we got all this weird shit. That's how you got cancer. Go look up Sophia Lamb in her connection with what's that guy that shot Kennedy? What's his name? That guy.
Oswald.
Yeah, Gary Oswald. They were I'm throwing it out there, and fuck it. They were mass producing. They were mass producing vaccines in the diseased kidneys of hamsters, gerbils, and chimpanzees to make the polio vaccination. My mom got fucked up twice over the polio vaccination. They gave it to her once when she was in the womb, and then they gave it to her again when she was 9 years old. She had a stroke, and she's fucked for life. Fucked her for life. And maybe I got some of it too. And it just prolonged. And what they found out was once they did that, it created a generational cancer that passed on from generation to generation to generation.
Wow.
Yeah. It's some deep dark shit. Deep dark shit. And Lee Harvey Oswald was there in Texas he was there for removal. They were removed. They were meat grinding gerbils because she had a biolab in an apartment that she was making this shit, right? And he got sent in by the CIA to eradicate and clean the area, right? He was a cleaner, right? Yeah. And they're grinding up gerbils. They're flushing them down the toilet. They're trying to get rid of evidence because really quickly the heat was coming down on them. Right, Region 9 glyphosate, right? Glyphosate. Oh my God. It literally changes the DNA of a plant. It makes it systemic, right? It basically gives it the plant takes it into its system and becomes toxic. The whole plant is toxic. So if it's a corn, if it's a tomato, if it's a potato, if it's whatever, it becomes toxic. And so pests and fungus cannot eat it. Then they take it and they give it to us and process it so that we eat it. Glyphosate.
Thank you, Trump.
Yeah, thank you, Trump. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Another Kennedy. I was thinking about the band, the Kennedys.
His family won't even talk to him anymore.
Oh, really? I wonder why. I'm wondering.
You know, my uncle owned a dump not far from here. Actually, he bought this 285 acres, and he was originally using it as a sand and gravel pit. My uncle Harold. Sorry, he was Howard Rump was his name. He used to joke. His last name was Rump. He said, "I'm a rump during the week and a nurse hole on the weekends." He was a character and a half, this dude. So he had this sand and gravel pit, and that's how he made a good living. And then the township came because their dump was getting full, and they said, "Hey, you got this big hole in the ground. Can we use it as a dump?" Right. So when I was a kid, like I would go there and hang out, and he had a Cadillac he bought every 2 years, and he'd drive that thing around the dump, and you could hear the shocks bottoming out and everything. And he said, fuck it, I don't care, I'll buy a new one." Right? He was just a character and a half. And
Wow.
the groceries that grew in that dump, gentlemen, I'm fucking telling you, the tomatoes were massive. The stuff that people threw out in the garbage grew in the dump like you would be proud as a gardener. And nobody even tried. Nobody watered this shit. You walked around the dump and you get a tomato that big. Right?
Good Lord.
I wouldn't eat it.
Right. Exactly.
I wouldn't eat it, but man, they grew some shit. And you know what? He sold that dump before he died for $60 million. So
Damn.
Wow.
don't tell me there's no money in garbage.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
there is.
So JD Prepper, he has a good question, and I have an answer. He says, "All right, it took how many years to screw this United States up? How long do you think it would take to fix it?" And Obama's like says, "Not overnight, that's for sure." I actually think it would be overnight. I think we could put overnight. I think we could.
Get
You
rid
know,
of the FDA, the CDC, the FBI, the ATF,
oh yeah,
Hiring.
the agriculture, the Department
agriculture,
of Education.
education. Yes. Yep.
BLM.
BLM.
The problem we have is, my humble opinion again, is that between the media, the bureaucrats that are running our schools, the indoctrination, that's happened over the last 40, 50 years. And I
Yep.
don't think overnight it could be erased. It's so, the system was so stacked against honesty and intelligence that I think it's going to take a little bit longer. And the good news is, from what I see,
It's like
thanks to your president, that he kind of slapped them all in the head and walked into Davos and said, guess what? Kiss my orange ass. This is what we're going to do. And globalism is dead. And they're all shaking in their boots. God bless.
Yeah. As far as the schools go, this is just my opinion. When they took prayer out of school, that's when it all went to the toilet. Period.
Yeah, I believe so too.
And Christian
prayer
schools,
and
there's always
the national anthem.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Pledge of
All of
Allegiance.
that. Yep. Prayer out of school,
here,
Pledge of Allegiance.
Christian schools still have prayers here, but we have a public
Same
school
here.
system.
But
But the
I'm
public
talking
school
public
system-
school system.
Public
Which-
school never had prayers in here, and I'm 65 years old.
We here in the United States, prayer was in, but the public school system.
Yeah, I learned the Lord's Prayer in kindergarten.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they took prayer out of school because they were sued by that
Susan B. Anthony.
woman, that woman that was an atheist, and the Supreme Court caved on her and said, okay,
Wasn't that Susan B.
that was
Anthony?
the downfall of our public school system, period.
And Trent, not to, just to be the opposite advocate, that just because someone's religious too doesn't mean they're a zealot or honest and everything too. I get it. I understand the way some people think, but in my
Matt Schaber.
No,
In my humble
I'm all
opinion-
for, I'm talking, and what I mean is, okay, you don't want to pray, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But there are those that want to and would
Yeah.
want to do it. That is my issue. They took their right away to do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know,
There's nothing
even
wrong with
though I'm not a Christian or any real kind of religion. I say I'm a mixture of all religions, really, but I know for a fact that prayer works.
Yes.
I know for a fact intention is everything.
Faith has saved a lot of people.
And in the meantime, in the great state of Minnesota, you hear the call to prayer for the Muslims screamed out over loudspeakers every day
Yep.
at noon. And yeah, that.
That's the common sense thing we talked about, that maybe one day we can return to common sense.
When they had
And-
prayer in school, there was a higher level of morality in our country of right and wrong.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Whether you believe in God or not, there was just this instilled instinct in you of right and wrong.
Yeah. And remember, Mac, on Sundays, every store was closed. Nothing
Yeah.
was open on Sundays.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. I remember having to go across the border to buy beer on a Sunday.
Yeah. Right. They wouldn't sell alcohol for the stores that were open on Sundays.
Yep.
There's a lot of things that were created in societies, like for the fact that you can go to war at 16, but you can't have a beer till you're 21 in the United States of America.
Oh, right. Yeah.
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 No, no,
I joined when I was 19. It was a hell of a problem.
Yeah.
But I was buying cigarettes and beer when I was 10. So it's also a different, generation. You know, I had a note from my dad, and I would go to the store and buy him his Winston Selects,
Right.
and a little case of Budweiser or his 6-pack. And the store, the old store owner was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I know the guy. Okay, here you go. Right.
Yep.
We can all look at as people with common sense at some of the things that make no sense at all, and shake our heads and wonder. People wonder what's wrong with society, or well, there's no more respect. There's nothing that we teach our children. Like, how about you teach them that when they grow up, they got to pay tax and how to do that. Or
Yeah.
how to pay
Well,
the hydro bill.
let's start out first by teaching them how to balance a checkbook.
Am I
Right.
wrong? I don't know.
What a checkbook is, right?
Right.
Obama
Right
Spike,
person.
Obama Spike, you are never alone, bro. Never alone. I've been knowing you for many years, and I am glad to see you here. I am glad that you have come back into my life. I really am. Really am. Y'all don't know who Obama Spike is. He's old school, baby. He is OG, old school. Just the badass motherfucker. That's Obama Spike. So back in the day, back in the early days, I don't know how long was it? Like 10, 15 years. Me and Obama, and all us, we used to run around and just we created hate and discontent here on YouTube. We did. We were all about some shenanigans. And so Obama Spike, I just want to say, brother, I love you. I love you, man. Love you. And I'm glad to see you. And you're never alone. Never.
I wish we could go to the time when you were allowed to teach your kids smart things, intelligent things. Take them fishing, maybe hunting, how to handle a firearm, and be intelligent about it. Because you know what, little kids that go fishing and hunt with their father or their grandfather, or know how to care for a firearm, don't rob little old ladies.
No.
Yeah,
No.
you're right.
I never used a gun in a robbery. Ever.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
No, I'm serious. I've never used a gun in a robbery.
Uh-huh.
I've never robbed anybody.
Well,
Allegedly.
back in the 90s, I did rob some drug dealers and I did have a gun.
You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And I remember, and this might be uncouth of me, especially in this day and age. But I remember back in the day when I was, I don't know, maybe 30 years ago, when the whole like Mexican border was open and shit, and all these illegals were coming up. I was like, well, if they're illegals, this is my rationale as a young kid. If they're illegals and they're not Americans, so they're not covered under the law of Americans. Can't we just like do whatever we want with them? I mean, right?
No.
So
I'm speaking firsthand. No. No.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, the whole idea, the whole concept.
I agree with you 1,000%.
Outside the law. You were outside the law. I mean, this concept comes from Old Norse, and a lot of other countries do the same thing too. It's like, hey, you've been exiled, you're outlaw. That was what outlaw meant. You're outside the law of our law. So that means anything is legal against you, right? Anybody can just walk by.
Yeah, unfortunately, the system doesn't work that way.
Yeah, not anymore, right? So, and I remember having this conversation with some illegals that I knew. I was like, yeah, are you going to call the cops when I take your money? I mean, no, you're not.
Right.
I gotta tell a quick story. I remember like yesterday, I was about 10 years old, and my mom's boyfriend took me to this hunting camp, and all the guys wanted to get a poker game going in the hunting camp, right? But they didn't. This is the funny part. They didn't want me to see them gambling, so they gave me a .22 rifle, a box of ammo, and a tomato can. Right? So I went outside. I put the tomato can, and I shot tomato can 5,000 times, probably. Right? I had a great time, but they didn't have to worry about me. So we all have that capacity to look at someone and know if they're fucking stupid. Pardon my French. You know what? So at 10 years old, at 10 years old, I know I wasn't an idiot because they handed me a .22 rifle, a tomato can, and a box of ammo, and I had a great day, and nobody got hurt.
Right.
Yeah. I have the guns of my father's. Well, actually, yeah, my grandfather had a 20 gauge single shot shotgun, and he carried it all his life, and then he gave it to my uncle. And the stories I heard from my uncle about him roaming this 1,000-acre fucking land in Tennessee with a 20 gauge one barrel just one shot 20 gauge shotgun. He said he got so much. He shot everything. He like so many stories. So many stories. He made his own shot. He made his own, like, he would make it. He would go squirrel hunting, deer hunting. He would go people hunting and use rock salt. If somebody was on their land, he didn't want to hurt nobody. He would shoot them with rock salt. And wouldn't you know that my grandma shot me and my cousin with rock salt from a double barrel shotgun, what I wanted. But yeah, so many stories, and I have that gun.
Nice.
Sentimental value.
Yeah. He said that he was he's got a nick. He's got a nick on his neck, like where he was crossing over. He said he was crossing a stream, and he had to go over the stream had a fucking fence, and he tripped over it, and the thing went off and almost blew his head off. Like, he's got this streak going up his neck. That's where he was a kid. That thing almost killed him. It's like, damn, man.
A single shot shotgun nowadays. Like, let's all whisper real quietly so the algorithms don't lose their mind. But
I'm smoking a fag over here.
If you go to shootersbox.com and order a barrel adapter in your choice, they're 357, 44, 45, 9 mil. They go into your single shot and adapt that barrel.
Right. Yeah. So, you can shoulder it anything you want.
And just because we're fellow preppers and organized people, If you went and they're $25 a piece, and you went and you ordered 3 or 4 of each, so when the shit hit the fan in the world, no matter where you were, and you found a box of ammo, you could probably shoot it out of your 12 gauge or 20 gauge single shot shotgun, turn it into a very capable thing. But nobody,
Yes.
I didn't tell you that, okay?
I like it. I like that idea.
Them,
I mean,
them been around
Shooter's
since
box.
like the
Shooter's
late
box.
80s.
.com.
what do you say, Mac?
Those have been around since at least the late 80s. I remember seeing them back then.
I got a couple.
Well,
Oh man.
hold on
Well-
1 second, please. I'll be right back.
Nope.
All right. Team kick door.
How many times have we, like I say, as an adult, when I saw my grandparents or my great uncles, they didn't have a lot of money. You know, they were in World War II. They came back penniless. You know, they went back to the farm, and most of them only had a single shot shotgun or maybe a double barrel if, you know, somebody left you one or whatever. But they all just did just fine. You know, they all got by, and they didn't have welfare. And when a lot of our Scottish and Irish and Polish and whatever immigrant families came over here, there was no welfare, and you had to work here. Probably, I don't know if it was the same in the States, but you had to work at least 7 years inputting into the system to be able to do, you know, get Medicaid or get some kind of assistance or unemployment insurance or any of that stuff. You had to physically put in. And now, again, call me irresponsible, to just allow 1 million people into a country and not expect it to screw everything up.
Yeah.
You're
No, that's exactly why they did it. They expected
Exactly.
to screw everything up. It's called replacement migration. Yeah.
That's what's going on in the world.
Yeah. YouTube is still. I like the GHEY. Yeah. Absolutely. They're absolutely gay. That's why I'm smoking a fag. That's right. I'm smoking a fag.
Whenever you start talking common sense or anything that's intelligent,
Splatter dates.
signals go funny, and
Oh, rabbit.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, but you know what? Hey, I'm all about poisoning the well of AI as well. So yeah, let's go.
well, I think Mac, you're a veteran. Chad's a veteran.
No,
And
I
I
never was in the military. I never
I've
was in the
got-
military.
I've got sand from every beach. That's Utah Beach, right?
Oh yeah, you showed this before.
Remember?
Yeah. Cool.
Showed you that? There's
Yep.
sand. There's
You got
sand
that.
from Gold. There's sand from Omaha.
Wow.
I got sand from Juneau and Sword. A young veteran that my daughter went to school with, his name was Matt. He knew Grandpa Gray fought, and my grandfather fought in the Battle of Normandy. He was captured by the Germans. He was a signal, and he drove a Norton Commando. And he escaped and hit a German landmine. He woke up in England in a hospital bed. And I was telling him the story because I remember sitting with Trenick, and he had some of the coolest stories. Like, I mean, some of us that were lucky enough
D.
to have World War II veterans as grandparents or
Oh,
parents,
yeah.
the stories, like you you cannot believe the amount of integrity and honor that these people had.
I agree.
And if you're lucky enough, like, and I'm not American, but I was on a cruise in the Caribbean with my wife, and I think it was a Royal Caribbean, and it was Memorial Veterans Day or one of those things, and they asked anybody in the audience in the ship if they were veterans to step forward, anyone from Afghanistan or whatever. And they worked their way like Vietnam, and then they said, would there be a World War II veteran? And guys, this old guy, just quietly steps forward. There was a fucking World War II vet there. And the whole ship, like there was probably a couple of thousand people in this one section of the ship. It erupted into loud cheering and clapping. And
It is
those,
a different generation.
that
Different
generation, my grandfather told me that they just got dumped onto a ship. And when Normandy was as bad as it can get, man, like they just opened up these gates and you know, they were getting hellfire from all these pillboxes and stuff up on the hills.
Yeah.
These guys, like, holy shit.
Yeah,
And the
I mean,
ones-
yeah,
The ones
I
that
used to
jumped
talk
over
to
the side. Go ahead.
No, please, you go ahead.
The ones that jumped over the side instead of going out the gate had so much gear on. The waters were deep, and a lot of them drowned.
Drowned. Well, my grandfather told me that when they got captured, the German officer said, "Where?" And he said it like this: "Where have you been? We've been waiting for months." It was they knew they were coming too. So, a couple of those beaches were just set up. They knew they kind of told them we're going to hit this, and the shit that they went through, man, holy cow!
Yeah,
Wow.
and the heroes, absolute heroes that came out of that, you know, literally guys that were just they came from poor, you know, poor USA, and you know,
Pictures of farms.
became warriors,
Small
became
town.
heroes. You know, it like they didn't know what to do with them. They're like, "Where the hell did you come from?" I was like, "I grew up on a farm in Wisconsin. I grew up on the streets on papers in Chicago. You know, that kind of shit. You know,
Most of them wouldn't even talk about it.
right?
Most
Because
of
they
them
don't need to. They don't need
want
to.
to talk about it.
They don't need to. I have talked to a few because, you know, they find out I'm a fucking Marine and they're like, "Oh, fuck you, you fucking jarhead." I'm like, "Oh, shit." You know, and I'll give them shit back. I used to throw papers. I remember this one guy. He was the first paratrooper. I used to throw papers in a assisted living kind of nursing home. And he was the first paratrooper. They called him Rakasan. And it was like 2:00 in the morning. I'm throwing papers, and I would stop by, you know, and he would be at the door. He would be at the door, just old and decrepit on his walker, and he'd have a shot of whatever it was. I don't know what it was, just something. He's like, "Here, drink, you fucking jarhead." I'm like, "Oh shit, you're calling me out?" "Okay, sir. Yes, sir." Like, "Don't fucking call me sir." But anyway, I call him Rakasan. I look at him and go, "Rakasan." He go, "Yeah." Anyway, the word Rakasan meant upside. It meant falling down umbrella man in Japanese, because they had no word for paratrooper. So these guys were jumping. He jumped into Japan. You know, he was the first, it was told. And that's what they fought tooth and nail. They ran out of ammo. They're fighting fucking samurais, you know, with freaking rocks and sticks and you know, their guns and bayonets. You know, I mean, he killed motherfuckers with hands. You know, and this guy was like 90-something years old, man. And he said, "You know what? I'm still that kid. I'm still that kid. I'm still that kid that joined the military, joined the army." You know, like, no shit. And I was like, he's like, "Yeah, you know, he's like, I'm still there. I'm still there. I close my eyes and I still see it." You know, he wakes up. He said sometimes he wakes up and he wants to run outside to go meet his friends and go ride his bike. You know, I'm like, then he realizes, wait a minute, I'm 98 years old and I'm shitting myself. I can't walk. I mean, he's still that 19-year-old kid. He's still that, or 17-year-old, whatever. It's just amazing stories, man. And he said he just went because it was the right thing to do. You know, it was just the right. It was you know, that's how you pay back. You know, that's how you pay it forward. You know, nothing. You had nothing. He said he didn't have a pot to piss in. like living in a shack with all his kids, all his brothers and sisters, and mommy and daddy had no work, right? And he just said he went to the military and he sent money home. And when he got out, he continued to live live in the same town, married, and, businesses, and, grew up and, had kids of his own. He said that was just the thing to do. He's like, there was no question. There was none. I was like, I'm going, that's my duty, my way to get back. Nowadays,
Right.
I don't think it's like that anymore. I think it's now they have to, and he said the pay was horrible, the food was horrible, and it was just of course a horrible experience, right? But he would have never changed it, he never traded it in for anything else, man. Never wouldn't want to change it for anything. Great experience.
That's the way my grandpa on my mom's side was. He was 16, lied about his age, and went over in World War One, fought in the trenches, and sent the money home.
Yeah.
Lives the same life his whole life. He was a bootlegger and moonshiner and gambler, and they called him Red. He was Irish.
Oh yeah.
Shad, when you talk about the Marines, because my wife worked for the United States military for over 11 years. She has 11 sustained superior, and she's Canadian. She was the budget analyst for the United States Department of Defense and DCMA, Defense Contract Management Association, and anything that supported the warfighters. You guys have about 40 to 50 inspectors up here that travel to factories and inspect anything made for the warfighter.
Wow.
So my wife has there's a Bravo Zulu, a commander's coin upstairs. One of these days I'll put it down. And she also has a Bravo Zulu from the Navy and one from the Air Force, thanking her for her service. She has a medal from the Secretary of Defense, the United States Secretary of Defense, for her actions during 9/11. And again, 11 consecutive sustained superior performance awards from the United States military, and she's Canadian, right? So I used to go to the military. I used to go to the Marine Corps ball every year, and we got invited to the United States ambassador's residence because every 4th of July, man, they threw a hell of a party. And one year they had Charlie Daniels on the frickin' front lawn. Hey, you know what? So all of my experiences, like with my American friends and through my wife's work, because she actually did the budget for the base in Puerto Rico, Dayton, Ohio, and in Pensacola, Florida, and the office here. My Canadian wife. So one day, one of the commanders from the Puerto Rico base came up here, and he needed something, a favor or whatever. So I did it for him. I got what he needed. And he goes, "What do you need?" I go, "You know what? I really want a full combat gear." And the dude sent it to me.
What year was this?
She was there until in the 90s to.
Well, I know. What period gear did you get? That's my question.
Oh, it was those side pockets that they go to suitcases almost.
Yeah.
The combat pants, and it was it wasn't digital camo. It was the older style one. And I got the actual jacket, and the combat pants.
Oh wow! So you got complete uniform of like what's it called?
My cousin was so jealous. Yeah. My cousin was so jealous that he loved the shit out of them. I gave it to him. I felt bad for him because I got to go to all these things. I met a ton of Marines. I was at I think 11 of those Marine Corps balls because they arranged it. Because the U.S. ambassador has a guard here, right? You guys know that the U.S. Embassy has a Marine Corps guard.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
I think all ambassadors.
8th and 9, 34th. Yeah.
So
Embassy.
yeah, and characters, man, holy shit, man. I had a lot of fun laughing. It was good times. So whenever you say the Marines, I always think about all those Marine Corps balls I used to go to. And we got invited to, like I say, the ambassador's residence at Christmas and for the 4th of July. My daughter played piano actually for I think
Oh, man.
Griffin at the time. Clinton, I think, was president because he came up here to do a speech when they opened up the new United States Embassy here in Ottawa.
Wow.
And Clinton was president. So what year was that?
92 to 98 or 92 to 2000.
So that's about the time she was there. And it was kind of funny because her being Canadian, a lot of people would ask, and I go, no, my wife works for the U.S. military. What? I go, yeah, works for the U.S. military.
That's so sad, man. I mean, I'm looking back, I was 94, 98. Clinton was my executive chief. Damn. Just to let you know, I did not have. I was a shitbag. I was a terminal lance corporal in the Marine Corps. I did 4 years, and I got the fuck out. I was so hated. I was like, fuck you. Seriously, I was, but I was a grunt as well, 0311. So most of us were like that anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of it just got out.
Honestly, Shad, when you're going to war, it's like a lawyer. Do you want a really nice guy or you want a badass motherfucker?
We were. There was no joke about that. I never got an Article 15. I did. I actually got my good cookie, but when I got my good cookie ribbon, conduct medal, they're like, "How the fuck you don't deserve this?"
I gotta try and find something. I'll be right back. Hold on.
I never. The only actual war I went to was Operation Noble Oblisk, and that was in Africa, and that maybe lasted like 2 or 3 months. That's it. I mean, it was kind of like a peacetime, thing. I never. So I'm kind of jealous of all the GWATs and the invasion Marines that went. They actually got to do something. For a long period of time. To me, I did a lot of cool training. I have to say, a lot of cool training and shit. But I was so fucking just jaded when I got out of Marine Corps. As soon as I got out, I went to, I traveled the East Coast, the West Coast. I traveled Midwest. I went to go see all my friends that got out before me. I grew my hair long. I dyed it like fire engine red and green. I grew a goatee as long as my fucking stomach. I had an eyebrow ring. I just punked out. I was like, fuck you. I didn't want to be called a Marine. I don't want to be associated. And then later on, it just kind of, wait a minute. The pack is never off. That's what I realized. The pack is never off. The boots never off. And might as well just embrace it. So, orgies. Yeah. I mean, lots of scandalous things happened in the Marine Corps and after the Marine Corps when I got out. But it's still, to this day, I remember everything, and just kind of wouldn't stay for the world, really. I mean, to tell you the truth, I probably would have stayed in. I probably would have stayed in, but I knew I should. I knew that if I did, I wouldn't have had the most amazing experiences that I did after I got out, and the people I met and things like that. So things happen for a reason. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. No regrets kind of thing. But I wasn't a stellar Marine. Okay. I was not. Oh man. Challenge coin. Yeah, I lost all my challenge coins. I lost my DD-214 in storage. I get them back. I lost my crew, my cruise book. I had 2 cruise books. I did 2 cruises. I lost them. You know, I still have my Emerald Shellback card, so I got that at least. But yeah, but
I got one of your hats.
How funny is
Yeah.
that though? My wife has two commander's
a
cards
cover.
in the United States military.
Yeah, no smoking at orgy parties. Yeah, no smoking bags at orgy parties. You just don't tell nobody. Please excuse me while I smoke a fag.
Yeah, you was talking about them beach landings over in Normandy. The Marines in the Pacific had some hell of a badass landings over there in the Pacific.
God,
Iwo
yeah.
Jima.
Yeah, EOG. I got to see. I went to tour. That was a cool thing about being on ship is we float around and they would have these tours. One of them was Iwo Jima. And man,
I still have my old shoulder, and my
Yeah.
original beret badge. I still have it.
what's the writing on it? Let me see the writing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, let me see the writing on that. Governor General Foot Guards. RAAC.
Royal Canadian Artillery.
Oh, okay. Royal Canadian Artillery. Yeah, it is. It's true, Miko Wolf. It's true. I mean, but I tried to shed as much as I could of the Marine Corps. You know, tell you the truth. I was not a lifer. I was not a motivator. I was just a dirty grunt. You know, half for the 2 years in the Marine Corps, I stayed drunk. I stayed drunk and high, and then I had a DWI, and for 2 years afterwards, I didn't drink or get high or do anything. It kind of changed my life. Put me in a Jesus moment, Just hell, I almost died. I almost killed a bunch of people. I was like, damn. So. It was a weird time. I was young, dumb, full of cum, stupid, full of myself, couldn't tell me nothing, 10 foot tall, bulletproof, and the Marine Corps just made it worse. Damn, Miko Wolf. Yeah, there used to be I thought about it too, but I was like, no, I can't do another. There was a time when I was in, you could do 15 years and that's your retirement and get out, full pension. Such is not the case anymore. I hear you can't do that anymore.
There's a high amount of camaraderie in certain corps of the military, and some more than others. But again, witnessing a lot of the things that where I've attended, where my wife was worked for the United States military. The camaraderie was super, super high. And I remember one evening at dinner, they said they were celebrating. It was, I think, it might have been the 250th anniversary of the Marine Corps dinner.
Okay.
They asked if there were any Marines in the audience. That and there was about six of them. Other than the Marines that were the honorary guards, the security guards, there was 6 of them. One of the guys I knew, his name was Ray Chastanay. He was a Marine, and they all stood up and they all raised their glass. Semper Fi, Marines, and the camaraderie, you felt it. He almost got goosebumps. Yeah. And like I say, I was a cadet too, so I understand. I built a bridge with some of my guys. We stayed in marquee tents. We did training together, and the fun you have, that kind of it melds you. It gives there's a certain camaraderie that exists and happens and occurs. Yeah, that it's hard to explain.
There's it's different when you're in, saying the grunts, we were just grunts are treated badly. You know, grunts we're shit on. Every working party we go to, it's every we get volunteered for everything, all the shit jobs. It's not a good life. And then when we go out in town, we just want to have fun, have drink and be cool, and maybe pick up a girl here or two. But even the population, especially when we go to a college town, they hated us. As soon as they seen us, man, we were like, "Let's fucking move out of here." There's something.
The shit hit the fan. It's like your National Guard, right? It shit hits the fan. They're on sandbag duty. They're the ones, helping out and rescuing people and all that stuff. So that's typical of society to look down upon certain. But you know what?
Yeah.
There's certain members.
I got in trouble on ship, and I got put in laundry detail. Like I got sent to the laundry room for a month. It sucked. It's because I was just a fuck. They didn't like me. Nobody did. My sergeants and corporals were like, "Fuck that guy. Send him to the fucking." Send him to the laundry. It's hot, whatever. Well, what I started doing, of course, is I found a press, an old industrial strength press that was sitting off the corner. And I was like, "Does this run?" He's like, "That thing hasn't run in years." I was like, "Can I press my camis?" "Yeah, go ahead. If you get working." I plugged it in, did some fucking things, tweaked it, whatever. It worked fine. And I started pressing my camis, and everybody's like, "Hey, can you press my camis?" I was like, $5. I started making money. but on top of that, I started doing like haircuts and shit, and I was not nice about it either. On ship, I'd slap you. I would buzz you real. I would cut you. Especially if you're a sergeant or an officer. I'm cutting you. I'd take those razors. I'd cut your head. I'd slap the alcohol on you. Get that burn. And people were like, "Wow, that's the manliest haircut I've ever had." I'm like, okay. And they would start tipping. But anyway, about the laundry detail, it was a punishment. Do you know they gave me like an accommodation for that? They're like, "Hey, good job. Thank you very much for all your hard work and dedication." I mean, it's not like it goes in your folder. It's like, "Hey, good," like you talked about your accommodation. But it was just like, "Wow, fuck you." I mean, "Hey, great job." I was like, I wasn't there by choice.
Well, think about people watching movies, or you've never experienced any military, anything like that. Think about watching a movie, and whenever somebody flies off the handle, or they're worried that he's doing some things to stop bad people or whatever, the first thing they do is check their record, right? Their military record, to see who they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Because how do you explain it to people who wouldn't understand? Is you're trained to do things that not everybody can do. Right? And that sticks with you.
Yes.
I don't care. You don't forget that stuff. You don't forget it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like when if you're a hunter or a fisherman, you don't forget how to tie your line, or what time of day the fish bite, or where, or if you're hunting, what caliber, your trajectory, what windage. You don't forget that stuff.
I mean, you can. I mean, it is. You can't forget it, but it does kind of come back to you
very quickly.
Yeah. But I was that guy that I was quote you. I quote myself. The boot Louis. If we did not have respect for you as a upper echelon, like a sergeant, staff sergeant, or platoon sergeant, or a platoon commander, or a company commander, or even a gunny, oh my god, we would just fucking disrespect you on a regular basis. So it was, and didn't give a fuck what happened to us. And I was that guy. I could not keep my mouth shut. And I quote, we were doing a live fire exercise. It's called LZ, known distance, or whatever. thing, and we were doing like movement shooting and stuff. And the Boot Louie is like a second lieutenant. He just got out of OCS. He got into there, and he's like, oh, "I'm in charge, and you're going to do what I say, and this is what we're going to do." And I said, "Sir, excuse me, sir. That's fucked up, sir. You're going to get us all killed, sir." And, you know, it was just like, you dropped a pin. It was so quiet. And of course, like, you know, my corporals and sergeants were like, "Get on the ground, push. Great job. What you said, "You fucking shut up, you know, they're yelling at me, kicking me, you know, but then it just, you know, reached down and whispered in my ear, great job. You said what everybody was thinking, you know." But they still had to fuck with me. They still had to burn me. They still had to just thrash me, you know, because that's the way it is. You know, you just don't talk back. You know.
I remember, Shad, we had the Governor General shoot. They had the snipers come from all across Canada, and it was at Connaught Rifle Range where the military trains. And I was marking targets. They had all us cadets down there, you know, in the butts. We had a whole phone, you know. Had a crank, check target 33, you know.
Oh yeah.
And all that shit. So when we had the mess, they had this
a lot of work.
A military mess hall where, you know, there's fucking 300 people in there. So they got all this food laid up, and you could probably relate to this. One of these fucking guys from Winnipeg, Manitoba, I think he was from. They had, you know, if you guys' military messes were the same, they put out giant bowls of cereal, giant bowls of this, giant bowl with a ladle, right? So you'd go up, get your food, take the ladle. Well, this guy, there was tapioca puddings, there was butterscotch pudding on the thing. He goes outside, he gets a big fucking bullfrog, puts it in the cereal bowl. He's got tadpoles in the puddings. And, you know, you're walking up to look at stuff, and everything's going blah, 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 and some guy goes to stick the ladle in the cereal. You're fucking gigantic bullfrog. We had so much fun, but you had to.
Oh my god! Yeah, well, you know, my group ate one of them just to do it. Yeah, Region I fragging. That's the thing too, right? To frag someone. We still have some of the old unspoken traditions like hazing. Hazing was everywhere, and that was the tradition, right? You got hazed. Take to the tree line. If you had a problem with your fire team leader, your squad leader, your platoon leader, platoon sergeant, you could say, "I got a problem. We need to adjust this," and you and two other people as witnesses and referees would either go to the tree line or go into the room and lock the door and close the shades, and you settle differences. You know what I'm saying? And it was nothing said after that. It was done, right? Just, you know, let's handle this like men. You got a problem? Fine. You know, and yeah, that's the Marine Corps that I came from. It started to transition out of that. It was kind of sad to see. It really was. You know, I think my boot camp was the last boot camp to beat people. I mean, I got punched in the nuts. I got fucking head butted. You know, I got kicked. You know, I all kinds of shit. But you know, it was like they would look around first. They would look to the left, look to the right. They would look at their other sergeants on duty. You know, drill instructor. They would go walk to the door and stand there and be on lookout. And then I would just get my ass beat, you know, or somebody else would get their ass beat. Just, I mean, it wasn't like, you know, totally. Blanket parties were still the same. We had this guy named Norris that he was a bedwetter, and what he did is he in the middle of the night he took his sheets and threw them in the dryer with everybody else's stuff. He didn't wash them; he just threw them in the dryer. And in the morning, everybody's stuff smelled like piss. and the our senior drill instructor, Staff Sergeant Stewart, he came out and he was like, "Why does this? Why does the SWAT bag smell like piss? What the hell is everybody pissing?" And then they found out. Of course, they did some investigation, and Norris, this little guy Norris, like, I put it in the dryer, and somebody told on him like in the middle of the night because there was dryer watch, right? There was laundry watch because that's their job, do laundry, in the middle of the night. Said that he seen him sneaking in there through his bedclothes in there, his bed sheets and stuff, and he said, he just he looked at us, goes, "Y'all need to police your own, handle it," and walked away. And that night we had a blanket party. And it was the classic blanket party, soap in a sock. Everybody got licked, right? Soon after that, he left. He couldn't take it anymore, and that's what happens, right? It's a self-correcting system. If the Chinese, the Kung Fu, they call it eating bitter, right? If you can't take it, if you can't take the heat, get out the fire, kind of thing, right? That was the thing. Make blanket parties great again, but it was legit, and it was handled. It was the most. You want to talk about the most democratic thing I've ever been a part of? That the blanket party would be it, because everybody was expected to do it. There were no such thing as a conscientious objector. It was just it's not like it is today, and I noticed, like, I called one of the corporals out one time, and he said, "I'm going to NJP you." What? Non-judicial punishment. I'm going to NJP you for threatening me. I was like, well, you know what? I know where you drink, and I'm just going to show up at the bar and just whoop your fucking ass. How about that? Oh, you wouldn't. Oh, yeah, watch me. I mean, I allegedly, this guy was getting out, and yes, he sold somebody a bag of weed. Well, he took money, $30 for a bag of weed. This was a Marine Corps, and left. Like he was getting out anyway. He left, took money. Not only allegedly the person I knew's money, right? I say to you knowingly, but he took others as well. And he lived in I think he lived in South Philly. Allegedly, we paid him a visit with, some big motherfuckers. I mean, big motherfuckers, like 6'3", gym bros. Walked in his house, asked his drunk mom if we could come in and say, visit our old Marine Corps buddy. And she's like, sure, no problem. He's asleep in bed. We woke that motherfucker up, man, and got our $30 back, and everybody else's, allegedly. So that was from North Carolina. That was North Carolina to Philly. That's a hell of a drive, right? So we had a schedule because we had to be back, back in formation by Monday morning. So there was a lot of that shit that went on, right? It was handled. Shit got handled, and you had honor in it. There was honor, but you always had. It was always cut through. That's the thing. The military. Everybody makes it sound like it's like, oh yeah, it's such a great time. Yeah, but it's a lot like a slash between a prison, a fraternity, and what you would think a military would be. You've got. I got stolen from all the time. I acquired a lot of gear myself from just finding stuff. Laying about. It had somebody's name on it. I took their name off, and now I've got 3 helmets, or 4 gas masks, or sets of gear, and it happens, right? Things they had a saying. There's only one thief in the Marine Corps. Everybody else has to get their gear back.
I remember we had a lieutenant. We called them lieutenants here, a lieutenant. When we were on training or any of those kind of things, in the morning, he would come in with a galvanized garbage can lid and a hammer or whatever, and just walk into that tent and bang the shit out of it. Come on, you shitheads, get the fuck up!
I remember our instructor would do that. He would go, "What recruits? What is this called?" And he's making on the shit can. He goes, "It's a shit can, sir." He's like, "Why is it called a shit can?" And we were like just dumbfounded. And then he just takes it and just kicks it, because I get to kick the shit out of it. Just kicks it into. He's walking around. We're standing in a position of attention, and he's kicking it into us just as hard as he can. Just, I mean, it's an aluminum can, so trash can, so it just doesn't really hurt that much, really, if you stand there and take it, right? It bounces off of you, unless that edge gets you. Soap in a sock rock party, yeah, right, man.
I don't know if they can do that anymore. I think
No.
people nowadays, the mentality of them, I don't think they had the intestinal fortitude or the capability to handle it anymore.
I've heard stories that it still is gritty. It's just kind of hidden, right? It's done behind closed doors. It's look to the left, look to the right, boom, let's go. Right? It's always they watch the back. They still police their own. But yeah, they still just burn people for no reason.
Seth, said he was going to take it back to pre-1990.
That'd be great. I mean, that'd be great. That'd be the greatest thing for our military. It really would be. It makes you men. It makes you tough. It makes you. Yeah, when you don't fear, you wouldn't fear anybody else coming at you in war time or whatever, because you're more afraid of your corporal or your staff sergeant than you're the enemy. Because there was a reason why he was the corporal or the staff sergeant, because he was the toughest motherfucker, and you want to take him to the straight line. Good luck, he's gonna whoop your ass. I made the mistake of doing that too, I have to say I got my ass whooped, but hey, he had respect for me after that. You know what I'm saying? My staff sergeant had respect for me. He's like, okay, all right, well, you took it. You took it. Give you mad props. We can drink anytime. We can drink together now. So,
They're still crunching you up a little bit. Every once in a while, they're messing with your voice thing. Yeah.
Oh, I got bad audio. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
it crackles a lot.
Damn. Yeah, I wish I could fix that. I probably could. I probably have to change over to my tablet and get on my phone to do it. I would have to end the live stream.
Can you turn it down just a little bit? Will that help it?
I mean, it's all about the microphone. I don't know how to change microphone settings. Yeah.
We can live with it.
We'll be all right.
Yeah, I've been following you all. I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah. I was just letting you know in case it gets to the point where we miss something really important, we'll ask you to repeat it.
I got the phone.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
And Ryan's right. I did take it to the gun range. I took my phone to the gun range, and that's probably what screwed up my microphone. I could probably do something like this. Let's see. Where is that mic? How about I muffle it? All right. How about now? How about that?
That's good.
That's good.
No cracks at all.
Yep, I'm muffling it with a rag. I'm literally taking a rag and wrapping it around the bottom of the phone.
It's back now, but it's okay. We can live with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna play with it. See what happens.
So what are you making of the blood moon thing and all the earthquakes popping off?
We have a blood moon?
Yeah,
I was
blood
just going to
moon
say the
Saturday.
same. I didn't know.
Really? KP then. Spiced apple MRE. What? Good lord.
Oh,
What?
I can almost read. I can almost read because you got your screen chat going because I don't have my chat open. I can almost read it if I get close enough there. KP, good to see you, man. Hope life's treating you okay, buddy.
Yeah, what's up, KP? Skull.
Hey, KP.
I don't know. What is the significance of the blood moon?
There's a lot of conspiracies around it. Some people are tying it to the end times, last days, but there's been a lot of earthquake activity popping off, and I guess Saturday's supposed to be really eventful with earthquakes and volcanoes. That's what I heard on one channel today.
Because it's a full blood moon?
Yeah,
Okay. Huh.
So you're saying there's going to be some people sacrificing virgins
there could be.
if
Dep-
they can
dep-
find them?
Yeah. Depends which mountain range you're in.
Right. Oh, okay. I can do this. Let's know. There it is. Yeah. Oh.
Well, we do have a fault line that runs through this city, and I haven't heard or felt anything. So it's good to know.
Palmetto Prepared down there in South Carolina, he had an earthquake yesterday. I think it was 3.5.
Really?
Yeah. I guess there's been earthquakes popping up in all kinds of places like that where they're not usually happening at.
Really?
I have a conspiracy theory. They used to say that one like say Cascadia wouldn't set off Yellowstone or the San Andreas, and now they're saying different that they can set them off. And I have a conspiracy that one's going to set off and do a change.
Stand by.